This hand is from a $100, $200 cash game on PokerGO. Starts off with a raise from Melanie Weisner in the hijack, I believe, and Sofia Lovgren free bets from the small blind, and we pick up the action from there.
Oh dear, top set.
Flop comes 10, 6, 8, 2 diamonds. Sofia has the ace 9 with the ace of diamonds, so the backdoor flush draw and the gut shot. Melanie has top set with pocket 10s. Sofia actually decides to bet just over half the size of the pot here. I quite like the sizing, although I might even go a little bit bigger. It's quite a dynamic board, and it's not a flop she's going to be betting all the time as pre-flop re-raiser. So in that situation, you want to be sizing up, and she does have a good hand to bluff with on future streets. Melanie has an interesting decision. She can raise here because she effectively has the nuts, wants to get a lot of money in the pot, and wants to stack Sofia's overpairs before the board gets scarier. But also she does block a lot of value hands, such as ace 10 having the top set. So I don't mind slow playing here as well.
Oh my gosh. What a card for Sofia.
So the turn changes everything. It gives Sofia the effective nuts. She makes her gut shot. And Melanie still has a very strong hand here as well. Now the decision is on Sofia whether to keep betting or to check here. And actually she bets here, but I think I prefer a check. Most of her range is going to consist of overpairs here. She free bet from the small blind against the hijack open, so has a pretty strong range. And just doesn't have many nines in her hand. So it's important to also check a strong hand on the turn here. For example, like if she was sitting there with pocket kings, she isn't really gonna be too happy with this turn card. So when she does have the nine, she needs to underrepresent her hand also, just so she is protected when she checks the turn. So yeah, I think I prefer a check on the turn here, Sofia. And then Melanie really doesn't have too many options apart from calling here. She still probably has the best hand here a lot and is up against a flush draw a lot of the time. So she could protect by raising, but I think that just allows Sofia to play perfectly against it. She's only going to really continue when she has a beat, and she's going to fold out all of her flush draws, and there's only one card to come, and Melanie's in position, so she gets to make a decision on the river, so there's no real need to protect her.
Oh, makes that call with top set of tens. To the river we go. And that is a full house.
So the river repeats the 6 and changes the board again, kind of a rollercoaster hand. Gives Melanie a full house, and Sofia still has a straight, still relatively strong hand on this board. She now is in kind of a tough spot. The pot to stack ratio is really awkward. There's already 20k in the pot, and I think they're playing effective stacks of 23k, so effectively pot size bet. She's out of position. She could check here and let Melanie bluff with, say, like a big draw, like queen jack of hearts, like a hand like that that's never calling a shove. That's definitely an option for her. Or she could bet small, or she could shove, and she ends up shoving. It's quite hard to get called by a worse hand here, which is one of the problems. But her hand is really strong, and it's going to be the best hand the majority of the time. If I was playing, I would have checked the turn, so it would have been a different situation on the river. But as played, I think checking might be better, because you allow Melanie to turn a hand into a bluff. She has a lot of big combo draws that missed and are effectively queen or king high on the river and don't have any showdown value. And the board is really scary, so if Sofia did have an overpair and had continued to bet on the turn, she would be in a tough spot with a lot of them on the river. So it's definitely an interesting spot, because it's just very hard for Melanie to hero call many worse hands here. I mean, she could have a strong ace 10 or pocket jack, something like that, that might get curious, because it is a little weird for Sofia to have many jams here for value, because she doesn't have much 9x in her range, and anything worse than that doesn't really want to jam at all. So she could get curious and get hero called, which is definitely something she could be thinking of. But also, there's definitely a lot of potential combo draws that miss, that can't bluff when you jam and can't hero call either. So a check might be better overall.
Oh boy.
All in and call.
All in a call.
Yeah. Wow.
Just like that, a $65,000 pot.
This was a really interesting hand that was a roller coaster on every street. It's really interesting to watch different players play hands here. I think you can learn a lot from just watching different lines. Melanie and Sofia both took some interesting lines during the hand, and I was really happy to be able to learn something from them.